The laugh that echoed. The restaurant was quiet that morning, the kind of calm that comes right before a storm. A few businessmen sat near the window, whispering over steaming coffee, while a young waitress named Anna Grace wiped down the counter with trembling hands. She was 24, humble, and endlessly patient. But today, her eyes held something deeper, determination, and maybe, the kind of pain that only those who've lost too much can carry. The bell over the door jingled. In walked Martin Harlow, a millionaire film producer known for his arrogance and power. His silver watch gleamed as he strolled in, his phone pressed to his ear, barking orders like he owned the world. And in a way, he did. Martin wasn't just rich, he was untouchable. Every director in town wanted his approval, every actor wanted his call. He sat at the counter, scanning the menu with a smirk. Coffee. Black. And whatever's hot, he said without looking up. Anna nodded politely. Right away, sir. He glanced at her name tag. Anna Grace, he read aloud. Pretty name for a waitress. You ever think about doing something bigger? Anna forced a smile. I used to. But life. Martin interrupted, waving a dismissive hand. Ah, don't say it. Life got in the way. Happens to everyone who doesn't have the guts to chase success. She bit her lip and turned away. When she returned with his coffee, Martin was scrolling through an email on his phone, something written in Spanish, full of what looked like dialogue notes for a foreign film script. He groaned loudly. Can anyone on earth translate this nonsense? I've got a studio meeting in 2 hours. Anna hesitated. Maybe I could help. Martin chuckled, almost choking on his coffee. You? A waitress? Please. Translate this, he waved the screen at her, and I'll make you a film director. Deal? The few customers nearby turned to look. The arrogance in his voice was sharp enough to cut through glass. Anna's cheeks flushed red, but her eyes didn't waver. Deal, she said softly. Martin leaned back, amused. All right, sweetheart. Impress me. Anna took his phone, looked down at the screen, and her expression changed. For a moment, she wasn't a waitress anymore. Her fingers glided over the words like someone meeting an old friend. Then she began to speak, her voice calm, steady, and fluent. The entire restaurant froze. Every word rolled out perfectly, not just translated, but emotionally alive, as if she'd written it herself. When she finished, she gently placed the phone on the counter. That's what it says, she said simply. Martin stared at her. You speak Spanish? She smiled faintly. And French. And Italian. I studied linguistics at Yale. He blinked, speechless. Then what are you doing here? Anna wiped her hands on her apron. Paying off student debt. My father got sick after Mom died. I had to come home. For once, Martin didn't have a clever remark. His arrogance faltered, but only for a second. He forced a laugh. Well, Miss Yale, congratulations. You can translate. But don't expect me to actually make you a director. Anna's eyes darkened. You said. Sweetheart, I say a lot of things. He smirked, finishing his coffee. You'll learn, words don't mean much in my world. He tossed $100 bill on the counter. Keep the change. Then, turning back with a grin, he added, maybe if you're lucky, I'll let you serve coffee on set someday. And just like that, he was gone, leaving her standing there, humiliated. Anna looked down at the $100 bill. For a moment, she considered tearing it apart. But instead, she folded it carefully and slipped it into her pocket. Because something inside her had awakened, something fierce. And it whispered, he'll remember me. And right there, in that moment of humiliation, Anna made a silent promise. But little did she know, fate was already moving in her favor. Before we go further into this unbelievable twist, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles, where every story reminds us that kindness, courage, and truth still matter. 2 months passed. Martin had completely forgotten about the Waitress. He was busy preparing for his next big movie, a multilingual film about love, betrayal, and redemption, inspired by a real Spanish novel. But his translator had just quit, the deadline was tight, and nothing seemed to click. Every translation he received felt wrong, too stiff, too cold. Then one morning, his assistant burst into the office. "Sir, there's someone here who says she can help with the Spanish adaptation. She's not on the list, but she insisted you'd remember her." Martin frowned. "Name?" "Anna Grace." He froze. When she walked in, she wasn't wearing an apron this time. She had a professional outfit on, black blazer, hair tied neatly, confidence glowing quietly from her eyes. Martin leaned back, smirking. Well. The Waitress returns. Still chasing that fantasy, huh?" Anna smiled politely. "Not a fantasy. Just keeping my word. You said, translate this and you'll be a director. I thought maybe I could audition for the role of the film's language consultant." He laughed. "You really took that seriously?" "I take everything seriously," she said softly. Something in her voice caught him off guard. Still, he handed her a page from the script. "Fine. Impress me again." Anna sat down, read the page, and began to translate aloud. But this time, she didn't just translate. She interpreted the emotion behind every line. She explained the character's pain, the rhythm of the dialogue, how language could transform the story's soul. By the time she finished, even Martin's assistant looked teary-eyed. Martin stood there silently, then said, "Who are you?" Anna smiled. "Someone who believes words matter." He stared at her, for the first time, with respect. Then, without another word, he called his producer. "Hire her. Now." Weeks turned into months. Anna became the backbone of the project. Her sensitivity to culture, her linguistic depth, her insight, they turned the film into something extraordinary. Martin found himself relying on her more and more, until one evening, while reviewing final cuts, he said, almost to himself, "I can't believe I laughed at you that day." Anna smiled. "I can. But I'm glad you did." He looked at her curiously. "Why?" "Because it gave me the fire I needed to prove that kindness doesn't mean weakness." He nodded slowly. "You're right." The movie released. It became a global hit, celebrated for its authenticity and heart. The critics praised its emotional depth, something they said could only come from real human understanding. On opening night, during the press conference, a journalist asked Martin, "Who inspired you to make such a soulful film?" He smiled, looked at Anna standing quietly behind him, and said, "A waitress who silenced a millionaire." The crowd laughed, but not mockingly. They clapped. And Anna's eyes shimmered. After the event, Martin turned to her. "You still want that director's chair?" Anna blinked in disbelief. "Are you serious?" He smiled. "I keep my word, eventually. The next project's yours." Tears welled in her eyes. "Thank you, Martin." He shook his head. "No. Thank you, for teaching me that sometimes, the smartest people don't wear suits, they wear aprons." And that, dear viewers, is how a waitress turned humiliation into destiny. Anna Grace proved that dignity, education, and quiet strength can silence even the loudest arrogance. So next time someone doubts your worth, remember her story. If this story moved you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles, where every tale reminds us that kindness always finds its voice.